didn't feel any heat in my hand at all before it happened, but when it happened, it was basically like a pipe bomb, just exploded.
Evan Spallinger looks a lot better today than he did 4 months ago. After a series of surgeries, he has his face back and he can breathe on his own.
I literally thought I was gonna die.
October 26th, he woke up and reached for something called a mod, a heavy-duty customized e-cigarette.
Went to take the drag, nothing happened. I just didn't hear anything. So I did like a little hand check to see what was going on, thinking, flipping around, checking it out. And when I did that motion, and then as soon as I picked it back up towards me, it, ignited.
The device spewed battery acid all over his face and into his mouth. He struggled to the bathroom to wash it off and then outside.
As I consumed oxygen, it just got depleted. My body wasn't getting air.
His sister dialed 911. Paramedics rushed him to nearby Naples Community Hospital.
I got there, and then as soon as I got there, probably 10 minutes after, is when I realized this is serious, because they told me that they have to incubate me, which is when they put a big tube down your throat, and the machine breathes for you, because they told me that my airways were closing out, that I had burns in my entire esophagus and in my lungs, and battery acid in my lungs, which no one has ever dealt with before.
Spallinger blacked out and woke up 4 days later at Kendall Regional Hospital.
I had third-degree burns in my entire face. I thought I was going to be, if I didn't have great plastic surgeons and great doctors, that I was going to lose, half my face. I was scared.
Months later, he's getting back to being himself, and he's talking about what happened in hopes of saving lives.
It was an alternative to smoking cigarettes. It's supposed to be a safer and a healthier way of doing it. If I would have known that there's a risk of me being, fighting for my life and being in a hospital, and I would have never picked it up.
Is this a thing? Do e-cigarettes explode?
Yes, absolutely.
Spallinger's attorney, Catherine Dawson, says the unregulated industry is putting you at risk.
These devices are not safer alternatives to cigarettes. They're not safe devices when there's no regulation and when the manufacturers and the designers aren't held accountable for making products that aren't safe.
A quick search online and you'll find dozens of cases involving e-cigarettes exploding. In many cases, the battery overheats and explodes. She alleges Spallinger's mod, made by Vaping American-made products, has a design flaw.
This device didn't have proper ventilation. It was allowed to overheat in a manner that created all the pressure. There's something called thermal runaway that happens with batteries frequently. It overheats and it explodes. It's like a pipe bomb.
So basically you're saying the heat has nowhere to go.
Evans wasn't manufactured in a way that was going to let any heat out. The only way it could get out was to just explode out, and unfortunately it happened in a manner that resulted in him almost dying.
Dawson has filed a lawsuit against the manufacturer of the vapor device, the battery, and the vaping shop that sold him the device. None of them agreed to comment for our story. The vaping industry's largest association did provide a statement saying in part, quote, "While these incidents are taken very seriously, millions of former smokers across the United States and overseas continue to use these products as intended and have found vaping to be a significant alternative to combustible cigarettes. Proper care and safety dictate that people use the correct type of charger and follow manufacturers' guidelines when recharging their devices." We asked Spallinger if perhaps he did something wrong, as many critics have suggested.
There's a lot of critics out there who, in not so many nice words, say that you're to blame for this, that you're the one that caused this to happen. What do you say to that?
I did everything exactly how I was instructed. Everything worked fine for a year. I had different mods, I had different vapes, different batteries. Everything worked fine. All I can say to the people who are in denial about it is, it's not if it's going to happen, it's when.
Now, lawsuits involving e-cigs are really just getting started. However, a California woman recently won $2 million when her e-cig exploded in her car. And I'm sure you're wondering, Spallinger says he no longer smokes or vapes. David Sutta, CBS 4 News, tonight.